Shall we start, sir?
Sure, yeah, I can start. Is everyone back? Just take a
Yes,
heads
sir.
up. Okay, sure. Right. I mean, just checking in if everyone's back. If you're there, just maybe give a thumbs up or something, just a reaction, so we all know you're here. Perfect. Okay, let's start. Is my screen visible, Shweta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So coming back, I hope you had a good break. So what we were discussing was how do we get to creating our own website, right? We discussed that we can do that with AI. We need to be very specific about our prompt. We discussed about the prompt itself, how we could structure the prompt, talking about what elements should be there in the website, how to be specific in the prompt, some content elements. So just to maybe now show you live how we do this, we can go to the site directly. We can paste our prompt as well, and let's see what it comes out with, right? So let me just take our prompt as an example here, so we can begin. There we go. I have the prompt here. So this is my prompt. I've just pasted that. And I just will ask it to hold on a second. Just refresh this website. Hmm. Perfect. Just have to log in to use it once. I will do that from my account. Nice. So now I have given the prompt. You can see it has started thinking and writing the code on the left side already. Why I feel that DeepSight is helpful is that it kind of shows you real time what it will be building, and it makes it easier to sort of see the journey as you go. So you can see it has started building. It has already started with my header, my website name, the tabs, research, publication, data visualizations about the background that I wanted. We had the color suggestion, so it is maybe following that blue white theme. And it will start adding the sections and things on its own. So it will keep running as we speak. It is focusing topic by topic, adding all elements, and creating. So yeah, it will it will focus on every aspect of it, the where the contents are to be placed. It will also create some content on its own, but like we did not give it a very detailed prompt. In the sense of the content we wanted, we gave it overall structure. So if your prompt is even more detailed about what you're looking for, maybe content, even those are the things it can also include.
Saksham, if you can share the prompt in the chat box, several people are asking for it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I have it copied. Just give me 1 second. Yeah,
Great, thanks.
Sure. Any other prompt or anything you guys need, please let me know. I don't see the chat, so Nidhi, thanks. Just bring it up if someone asks, because I have not seen
Sure,
it.
we'll keep you posted. Yes.
Yes, yes. So as we are going, it is actually generating the whole site on its own. So maybe I can come back to this and focus on some other sections that we want to do. So right the moment it will generate the code, what it does is this is the kind of code it will write back, right? Where it's an HTML code, there will be a head section which will include like my meta tags, my title about the website, then it will have the body section. Usually that's how in HTML we split up. Head means your overall heading, right? That okay, this is the title of my website, this is the description of my website. Body section is where we contain the multiple sections. So that is how usually the HTML code is structured. We don't have to get so much into it, but I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of what is happening because it is still working on it. So this is like an agent style, right? This is why it is very interesting to look at what it is trying to do here. Yeah, it is writing code slowly, reflecting, thinking about it, writing the code. So it is much more thoughtful, much better the kind of results because it is thinking. These are all thinking models, so they are different from your standard models because they have a iteration cycle. So they produce something, they think about it, they produce something again. So because those iterations, they are usually much better than your standard models. So that was the main difference also between, let's say, GPT-4 and when GPT-5 came out. GPT-5 is a thinking reasoning model. It takes, if you have used GPT-5 recently, when you type something, at the first it will say thinking, and then it will answer the question. So that is where this thinking process is happening, right? What do we want? Essentially, it is trying to create and think about. So you can see now it is already come to the footer point. It has added some of the details. It has added the links, the resources. It is even added like a newsletter section. It has added basically now you can see it has done a lot of things here. And I think we're nearly done with the website that it was creating. I'll try to scroll up to see if the other, no, it still doesn't want me to work. It wants me to finish the AI to finish working.
And Saksham, there won't be any ethical issue in this if we are using it.
No ethical issue. This is just HTML code. So technically, like
No, the generated CV won't like reflect anything that it has been used, something like AI
So-
writings or
no. So what I would suggest here to do is this is where like I said, right? If you talk about my prompt initially, my prompt, I had taken an example of Dr. Maya Sharma and I had given some background about her that she is, let's say, from this background, but I did not give very specific. In this case, I asked AI to let it, assume certain things. So this is not something that I would publish. This is just for a demonstration. But when you talk about, let's say, your own profile or anyone wants to do their own profile, with this prompt, I would ask you to give your CV, your actual content. So it doesn't have to think or create that on the fly. It will use actual data to reflect that in the website, right? So this is where you can actually share your research, your profile, your experience, your work history, all those things. So it uses that in the website. Otherwise, it will obviously, if we don't provide, it will have to take some assumptions and build a sample. But then again, later on, you can go about changing um, those specific sections or changing the content, and I will show how you do that as well. So this is just a HTML code with the baseline assumptions, but it will later on we can change the sections with actual content from our resume, from our profile, all of that, and I'll show you how we can do that as well. Actually, this has gone on to build a multi-page website, which is even more interesting. So you can see it has already written the code for the index. Now it has gone ahead and written the code for the publications page also. And now it is finished.
it is finished.
So yes, so if I look at, this is the website it has created. Let me give you a preview. This is the website it has built. Dr. Maya Sharma, research highlights. Like I said, I've asked it to focus on PLFS employment statistics. I asked it to show some of our recent publications. I asked it to show some data visualizations. It has, I mean, this is all it has created as sample data, but if we actually were able to share some of our own research, it would have taken that to plot or to create these visualizations instead of just writing whatever it took. So it took on its own. It said it's PhD in economics. I never shared this, but because it is an example, I asked it to take examples from its own to create that. But now you can see that it looks a much, if you share something like this instead of your CV, this will look much better, right? When people see this, they will treat you way more professionally. You can actually share a lot more about yourself, and you can constantly update it. So it will make the whole journey and process look much better. And you can see everything is interactive in a way, right? I can click on the section, it leads me to there. I can see the publications page it has built separately as well. So this is the publications page it has built for me, where all the publications are listed, because you might have more than 3 publications that you show. So it has actually done that. There's also filters that is applied, that if it's only all publications or maybe working papers, journal articles, things like that. It has actually built a whole page for that with navigation, everything, which is great. So I can move on to different, I can come to the publication section, and if I click on view all, like it will take me to that page. So it has built everything. Now what we do from here is two things, right? We essentially now have the code. So we have the index.html code, we have the publications.html code, but it's still in this DeepSite thing. I don't think so you can share this currently yet. And this is what I want to show you. How do we make a running website which is live out of this, so that maybe by the end of it you all can have your own websites running. So we have the code now. Now there are certain problems that we need to address. One, yes, the code is there. Like I said, it's also mobile responsive. If you want to see that, we can also check that out. I will show that to you. See, if you click on this, you can see this is mobile responsive also. So if I would be opening this on my browser on my phone, it actually adapts to the browser screen real estate, right? So it looks nice there also. It covers everything. So that already it has taken into account, because I wrote that in the prompt. I want it to be mobile responsive. Now moving on to the presentation. So the next thing we would do is, again, we will have to save this HTML file on our system, because we need the code. Now there are two ways of going about this. Either you can copy the code from here. Like I said, you have the code. Just ignore this for a second, because it is not allowing me to have not logged in. Just a second. There we go. Yeah. So that was the wrong side. I have copied the code here. So you can see index.html. There are a couple of options I have. I can copy the code directly, or I should also be able to download the direct file itself. So let me copy the code. What I'll do next is I can paste the code and save it as an HTML file. I have, like you have Jupyter, you can have any kind of editor, visual editor, or you can even just open a text file on your system, like a notepad file, and paste it there. The moment I paste it, you can see the code has come in. Only with a visual editor, like you can, see these colors come in. If I was posting in a normal text editor or a notepad, you would not see these colors and the tags coming in. So what you can do from here is you can save this file. So I can save this file as, let's say, Dr. Maya website 1.html. I would like to save this in a new folder. I'll create Dr. Maya website. And inside this folder, I will save this HTML. Or you can either save it with this name, or the standard way of saving any HTML file is called index.html, which was the name of the file itself. So we'll just use that. So I have saved now the index.html. A way to see whether this is working and all saved, I will open that folder. You can see the file is there. If I double click this file, it will by default open it in the browser and show me. So now you can see that, yeah, the code is correct. It is working. It is there in my browser and all is functional. So this is the first step, that we have the HTML code. Now we have it in our system. Now, how do we go about showing this website and hosting it live? And the other question is, a lot of the data maybe AI generated needs to be changed. Maybe this is not what you're working on. It picked up something else. You want to change these things. How do you do that? Now, this is where again there are two ways about going about it. You could go to this visual code. You could see the specific body content where it is mentioned, and you could change it. That is totally possible. But you will have to understand a little bit about the code, right? So this is the title. If I want, I can change the title directly here. Or if I now start looking at the sections. So this is the hero section. I have this, but then let's say research highlights. I can see the different sections, research highlights, analyzing. This is the first research. I can directly change the text here. But maybe if it's a little complicated to you that I don't know, where this is all a lot of code. Another suggestion that I may give here is that to make it simpler, what I did was just see here. I got the HTML code. I pasted the HTML code to GPT. I said, hey, this is the HTML code that I generated. I also generated a picture of Dr. Maya because I want to change her picture to an actual person photo. It could be your photo in this case. Then I asked GPT that, you know what, do one thing, create a whole structure for me. You'll see this is the whole HTML code. I pasted everything till the end. Then what I did said, say, I have this HTML website code, please enhance it with these specific details. One, this is my real content now. Now I said that replace, the recent publications with actual papers. These are my actual papers that I want. Academic credentials, these are my actual academic credentials. Research involvement, this is my actual research achievement. I said that, hey, whatever is there, I want it to be replaced with my actual content. Now, this is an easy way. Why? Because you don't have to manually find where in that HTML code you have to replace. And why am I suggesting a two-way strategy is because if you ask GPT to generate that kind of website, it will not probably do such a good job. Although that DeepSight tool like DeepSight, which is free to use, is doing a very good job in generating a very nice looking website. Once you have the code, now you're not asking GPT to generate new website code. You're only asking it to review and replace placeholder content with your actual content. And this is what I have tried to do here, right? I have given it actual content. I have asked it, hey, please update this HTML code. I have also asked it something which I have added in my prompts here. So when you replace and when you want to upload, this is how a website is structured in a true sense. There is a folder, let's say, which is called Dr. Maya website. Within the folder is your main HTML file, which we saw, index.html. Then there could be some images, right? There could be my profile image. There could be maybe an image of me, submitting my thesis, doing my thesis presentation, or any other conference I've been to. I want to showcase those images on the website. So there we will create a folder called images. We'll include all those images in that folder. Let's say there are some publications, PDFs you have that you want to share on the website. So you'll create a folder called documents and you will include all those. So this is a way to structure that information properly. So that later on, you want to add a new document, you want to add a new image, you can just add the image here and you can directly call it in your website. So this is a way for the website, for the index file to understand where should I find the images from, where do I find these documents from to share. So that is why we need this kind of folder structure. So what I have done is I've also asked it, hey, create an organized folder structure for me, right? You could do all this manually, or in my case, I've just asked GPT to help me with this, right? And what I've also said is, hey, I'm attaching a picture. Please add this picture and also other documents, PDFs. I've asked you to take samples in this case, but if you have an actual research paper PDF, please, you can also share it here. It will take that as a reference and include that in the documents already. So this is doing a lot of your hard work of, creating the folder, doing all of that. So I sent this to it. What it did was it thought, like, because these are thinking models, it thought for 26 seconds. It said, okay, this is what I want to do. It created a project structure, Dr. Maya website, this file, which we already had given. It added that image that I had given. It also created some sample documents in its case. You could have given your actual reports. That would have been much better. And what it did was, you can see it created a whole full zip folder that I can download, right? So now it has created that whole structure. Now I have my whole website available with me with all the documents that I needed, with all the suggestions, placeholder content removed. Everything is final. I want to check it. I can download this zip file. I have it downloaded already. I will show you. So just before our session, I had actually run the same thing myself. and generated a very similar looking code. But there I actually went ahead and did this sort of change. You can see this zip file has been downloaded. If I open the zip file, you can see the index file. You can see the documents, the PDFs, you can see the image. You can see all those things have been added carefully. This is my index.html file. I'll maybe open this and show you. You can see now I have a picture. So just to show you the difference, right? From early on, this was my original code. Let me just show you that once. So this was the original website it had generated. You could see that it did have some, I don't know, living room space picture, did not have actual data, did not have my actual publications, did not have my actual data visualizations, all of that. Did not have my real data. Now I asked GPT, and then when I ran it, it actually replaced, right? So it replaced my actual data, it replaced the picture, all those things it did. It replaced actual PLFS things, a lot of things that I wanted to be highlighted, it changed and it showed. Now, so now my website looks better. Maybe if there are certain more things you want to highlight, you can always go back, ask GPT, hey, in this section, I want this to change. If you don't want to write it in HTML directly, it's an easy way to do this. Once you have your project ready, you have a folder, you have a website ready, right? You have this folder where you have all the contents, you have a project structure like I showed in my presentation. Now, what do? Right? To move ahead from this, you want to now host this folder, right, on a server where so that this website is accessible by the world or on the World Wide Web by everyone online. So what do? We have a certain deployment. We call it deployment in technology terms. Deployment just means that, hey, I have this file, like how you upload a file on Google Drive. We are just uploading this folder on a server so that the world can access it. As simple as that. So we have a lot of free options as well. You have paid options, of course. Hostinger and other guys give you paid options, but I'm going to go with the free option, which is also GitHub Pages is something which is widely used by developers, even academia, everywhere to showcase their portfolio websites. So we will try to see how we can use GitHub Pages to host this now Maya website there. So first thing we do is we can go to github.com. We need to set up an account. If you already have an account in GitHub, great. You just log in. If you don't have an account in GitHub, it's very simple. Just set up a new account. Very simple. You can use your own academic email or your personal email. That's totally up to you. Once you have set up an account, we want to create a repo. We call it repo or repository. I will show you how to do that. It's straightforward. Let me go to GitHub. So I have already logged into GitHub. This is my company account, but we have because we use GitHub regularly. So I was just testing out before I shared with you. So you see already Maya Web, Dr. Maya we created. I'll show you the website which is already hosted as well. But I'll go to repositories. I will create. You see the new button. I'll click on new button. Now what I do is I want to name my repo. So this is the name. You can say the name of your website. So in this case, we had Dr. Maya. We have already taken that name, so maybe Dr. Maya Web. That is the name of our website, let's say. We add a description. This is my professional portfolio website. Right. I make the visibility public because we want to make this public. I can add a README file. You can enable, disable it if that's not a big deal, but I'll just enable it for now. README is just like to describe about what this code is for. I click on create repository button. You can see it created my repo. Now what do? And I have some instructions. I will share this in the chat quickly. It describes how to do this process. Again, I will share my slides also, so everything will be covered there. So in case you miss out something, don't worry. But I'll anyway share this link so you have access. So this is simple steps. It exactly says that hey, create a new repo, type your name. Then what do you do after that? You have the repo, you go to settings. It's just a small setting we need to enable to host or to make this live. You go to pages inside code and automation, you see pages because this is called GitHub Pages. And what I do here is in the branch, I will say main and save. This is a very simple setting. If you don't understand, that's totally okay, but it's just something it's very clearly mentioned. Just follow it. not very complicated, simple setting. Once this is done, all you need to do is you need to upload that folder, right? So what I'll do is I'll create on add a file, upload files. I can just drag and drop, right? Very simple. So let's say I have this Dr. Maya website here. There we go. I have this whole folder, Dr. Maya website. So I ran this code with GPT. I'm not going to run it again, but you can run it similarly. It will do the same thing, nothing different. But since I already have it now, I'll just go ahead and upload it so we can, save time. So you see, I have all these files with me. I'll just drag these files and post them here. That's it. So it will automatically fetch these files. You can see it has started uploading already. Very straightforward, nothing new. Once it has uploaded, you can see everything is uploaded. It will ask me to commit. Commit means because I am pushing these changes. So that just I am pushing these changes. Don't change any setting. This is completely fine. It's pushing in the main branch. That's okay. I commit. That's it. Now this is done actually, and now you'll see the magic, right? So I have uploaded the files. If I go back here in the settings and pages, you can see my site is live at this URL. Okay, let's click on this link. We'll wait for some time for it to reload. Wait, yeah, we have it running here. There we go. Takes a little time, but don't worry about it. So after it is done, like it will take maybe like 2 minutes for it to connect and everything. This is the same website I have ready here. Like I'll just show you. I already uploaded a repo. Takes a while, that's why I did it before. So once my repo is there, let me show you. Ready build GitHub. I had this website, Maya website. I will show you this here. Again, the same folder structure I had uploaded here. Nothing different. I have my settings the same way in the pages. I have my URL, edubuild-git. So this name is actually my username of GitHub. This name is something you can set up. Then @Maya website is the name I give for that repo. So now this becomes my public URL. Of course, this is free. That's why we have to use their GitHub name. We can't move out of it. Later on, if you don't want it to be a GitHub name, you can also connect your own domain. If you want to ask it, just ask GPT, how do I connect my domain? That might be slightly, I mean, it's not complicated, but it's a few more steps. You have to purchase a domain name, all of that. If you don't care because it's just a website that you want to share, it's totally understandable even in professionally to have this kind of link available on your CV. They still treat this way better than not having a website. So don't worry about that. It says that GitHub, that's totally okay. It's a very international platform. So I take this link and I open it here. So you can see the link is opened and the website is live. So I can actually share this link in the chat and you all can open and see it's live, it's working. So this is this website we just generated. And you can see everything is working here. I added some sample publications also. I mean, these are just sample PDFs, but you can see these are working, right? So everything is running there. I want to change something, I can totally change it and make it done. Some things might, let's say, for example, this one contact form might not run directly. So what you would want to do is maybe either remove it or ask it to write a code to when someone fills the contact form. It will just say that whenever someone fills the contact form to GPT, make sure that it sends me an email or something. Then it will sort of write the code, or maybe to keep it simple, just don't have a contact form, I think, for the ease of use, because there you might need some coding skills or some knowledge to be there. You anyways, because you will have your email, anyone can click on the email, send you an email. So better to look at that. You can also include your other links like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, your Scholar accounts. So better to show that, maybe not have a contact form just for ease, so that doesn't bother you. So you can see that whole website is live and is working. So that's how I say it's very easy. It's not difficult. And you can all have a running website, let's say in 20-30 minutes. And of course, if you actually spend even a day on it, the results will be much more better. This is me doing this in 20 minutes. So yeah, I would request all of you to try it out. I think it's very straightforward. Don't so see. Like I said, it takes a while. Then it is live. Now it's working. Right. So just give it some time. If it doesn't, it shows something like that. Don't worry about it. Just like 5 minutes later, it'll be fine. So now you can see it's working. Everything is fine. And this is totally free. So you'll have to never pay for this forever. You can keep it running. Let's say tomorrow, you want something to be changed. Again, do the same thing. You already have your structure, right? Just go to GPT. You can tell it, hey, this is my index file. Copy the HTML code to GPT. Say again, hey, I want these changes to be done, um, and update the whole project structure. It will again give you a zip file. Unzip it, upload it here again. The same way, add file, upload files, replace the files, and you're done again. The new changes will be reflected. So it's a very easy way for you to keep using this for free forever. Never have to pay for it, and keep updating your website also. Any questions thus far on this?
So we have one question in chat box.
Just a second. No, actually, memory limitations. So there are two things, right? We have two separate sections. There is a server, and there is a domain. There are two different things actually. Server is where memory comes into picture. Server is where you will host your code, you will host your PDFs, you will host your pictures. That all goes into server. So GitHub is offering this for free to keep your code base there. It is not going to charge you for it. The catch is that you have to use the GitHub word in your name. Now, let's say you want to have your own domain. You could do that. If you want to connect your own domain, you will have to buy a domain. So you can go to Hostinger or GoDaddy. They have very cheap options for buying a domain, and sometimes they even give you hosting space with the domain there as well. So you can, in that case, you want to have a custom domain, just use any of those, and then you can even connect your files there and use their domain. It's way faster, I would say. The advantage of GitHub is that it is free, and you can use it. There is no problem. In case you want to use up GitHub with your own domain, then you might need a separate server as well. So that is where that will come in. If you don't want, then you can keep using this for free. So please don't confuse domain with server. Domain is just like a name, right? It's how it's how the World Wide Web people know where that, let's say if on a server at where I'm sitting, I have a system, a server where I have uploaded these files. But now what is the address of this server? So domain is just the address of the server. Address does not contain the memory, the actual server contains the memory. So we don't have to confuse those two. I hope I could answer your question. Sure. Anyone else has any question here? Please feel free. Or any other thing you have tried, and even in AI, you want to, maybe understand how this is working. Maybe I don't know. Ask me any questions. How can I solve this, or where you got stuck, or in this whole workshop also, if you have any questions, please do let me know. So I'll just quickly run through the steps. As I said, I had mentioned all these things in my slides. I will be sharing the slides, so don't worry. If you miss something, everything is here. We just followed the same steps. I just showed it to you directly because I feel if you show If you see it live with me doing it, you'll get confident that's not difficult. You can also do it. The final verification, like I said, is that you test it, right? So I gave you the link. I request everyone to open it. You can check it out yourself. You can open it on your phone, the link, you can open it on a desktop, just see it's actually a working site, right? And it's totally easier to use. The only thing that might not work is the contact form, like I said, so better to leave that out because it's anyways not that useful. So coming back here, yeah, that's the end of my slides actually. So I have some time, I think. How much time do I have, Shweta? Just want to cross check.
So 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Okay, perfect. So I now wanted to, since I finished these two demonstrations, um, if no one has any questions, I want to maybe have some fun here, and maybe also make it useful in a way. So the third section that I want to cover was how can we use AI to build educational games, right? You are all educators, you researchers. Maybe there would be a chance where you would want to maybe educate people, and how do you make it friendly? How do you make this a great learning experience? And this is where again I feel AI has a lot of potential, right? It is really changing the way we should think about education, the way we should think about learning. Traditional learning was very straightforward. You had some lecture notes, you had some PDFs, you had to read. Maybe there was not a lot of chances of interaction. But now with AI, I feel the learning can really be personalized, right? And every student, every person is very different in terms of how they perceive learning, right? Maybe you are a person who reads once and you have a very sharp photogenic memory, you remember things. Maybe for some other person, they don't remember just by reading. They have to really start visualizing those things, or maybe they have to really understand the concept to learn that, better. So everyone has a different learning method and different learning capacity, and this is where I feel AI can really bridge that gap. It can make learning personalized. So one effective way of making that learning personalized is maybe by games, right? So in this workshop, I want as many people to participate, please, as possible, because I want your thought process to come out. I want some ideas to be shared of what kind of game could we build. So before that, I want to share an example. I was actually before yesterday when I was preparing for this workshop, I thought of a fun game and I built it. So I'm just going to open that game and we'll play it live here. So just to give you an idea of what is possible, and then we will, with your instructions, with your inputs, I will build a game live, and then we'll all play it. So that is the intention of this workshop. So you see real time how I prompt, what I do, and how GPT or Gen AI can really help us to achieve that vision, right? So let me share something that I built yesterday. Um, I hope you can see my screen.
Not yet, sir.
Okay, wait. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes. Now visible.
Okay, so it's a fun quiz. This is for on statistics, so I do not know any of the answers. I would ask anyone in the audience to please answer this question. You can see there's a question on the top, and these are your three options, A, B, C. So anyone who would like to answer this question, if you know. And then the idea behind this game is that we have to kick the football in the right goalpost, which is the right option. So please let me know. This is not my topic, so I definitely do not know answers to any of these questions. Anyone who might want to come up, you can take a guess. You don't have to be fine. It's totally okay. It's not a quiz. Yes, you want to make this session interactive, please come on up.
Participants, please respond.
Anything. You don't have to worry about getting it wrong. Just say anything. It doesn't matter. I really want to kick the football. Don't you want to see the football go in the goalpost?
I think C is the option.
Okay, perfect. Let's see.
I'm saying B.
Wait again. You're right. Correct. See, you got it right. So that's the goal. That's correct. So it's a very simple, fun game. Maybe we can play a couple more questions and then we can think about what you want to do. That's the next question. Does a sample mean differ from a known population mean? What would be? I'll just put it in there. Oh, that was a correct answer. That was a good guess. So yeah, it's a simple game, but you see the what AI has been able to build, right? The ball is actually moving. There is a sound in this game. There is, and I did this in 5 minutes yesterday. You can see how much AI has really thought about this. There is the question count. We have a score. We have a streak. We got 2 questions correct in the row. There is it thought of 20 questions on its own. It thought of the 20 questions, 3 options, the answers. What is the correct answer? And now this comes the tricky part, right? It is not easy to get a ball to bounce, and especially in a projectile motion, because it's a projectile, right? You see this. So all of that, this is actually complex coding where we have to ensure the laws of physics are there too, because the ball is bouncing. Um, it will bounce back. If I hit it at the top, it is bouncing back. You can see the shadow is growing smaller and larger. There are a lot of things that are actually happening here, and they're not happening on their own, right? We need to code for it. We need to tell exactly what to do, what happens. What about power, right? I'm applying small power, it is bouncing low, and applying more power, it is bouncing higher. A lot of things are happening here simultaneously for this to actually work. And I think for me also, it was very an amazing experience that AI already where we are is able to do this in a matter of 5 minutes, right? So that is why today's workshop is to have fun, to maybe let's explore together the boundaries of what we can co-create together with our thought processes. So please, this was just an example to show you what I did with my own thought process, that maybe I thought, hey, let's have a new way of answering a quiz. And I already think this is way more fun than the typical MCQs we face. So they're so boring. There are 4 options. I have to click on one. There's a timer. There is no fun there. What could be another thing? Maybe we could have a cricket field and I'm batting. And if I hit a 4, that's one option. If I hit a 1 run, it's another option. I could have a lot of thought process in it. We could totally gamify the MCQ process, for example, and make it way more fun for people to actually do quizzes. Now this quiz would look way more fun than any typical MCQ. So let's think about it. I want you to share some ideas you may have of what kind of game could we try to create today, and then we should try playing that game and see how it totally works out. So if you want to share in the chat, if you want to share directly with me by speaking up anyway, please feel free to describe. And I'll try to create that real time right now.
Participants, please share your idea.
Anything, I mean, whatever you can think of. It could be anything that you may think of. Any educational game. Could be a quiz, could be, I don't know, something else. Naz, you were there before. Dr. Suresh have been very participative. Sachin, anyone who want to come in, maybe Badresh, anyone who wants to share any
I have
ideas.
one idea in the chat box.
Okay, let's see. For kids' personal education, where we're able to track assessment, quiz, and progress chapter wise. Okay. Can you maybe turn on off your mute, Yogeshwaran, and explain a little bit more what you
Hello.
want in the chat box?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
See what I'm thinking. For example, as a parent, right? So, so for our kids, they're going to the tuition and following several books and chapter wise, right? So it is very difficult to track, where are they, or we have to pay huge money to, third party, companies, like, some big players are there, right? The cost is around 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs, where we can able to create a very simple, tool for the parents, where we can able to, give some sort of, assessment to the kids, where we can able to, track, So I feel, that's kind of, real, create a real impact to the middle class people, where they can able to, easily, track their, kids, progress. That's a thought process. Okay.
Okay, great. And what kind of assessments are you thinking about? Like,
Now, for example, ninth grade, my daughter, she's doing ninth grade. Okay, so it may be science, social science, so within that there are multiple chapters, right? So where I can able to upload my, PDF, can able to create a, sort of quizzes and assessment, something like that. It should be very simple, so we don't have to, buy some, heavy weight champions. So that's the idea behind it.
Great, great. Yes,
Yeah.
so that can be done. There is slightly more element to this, what you have shared, compared to a standard quiz, but this is also possible. How I would break this down, and I'll try to describe how I would break this down and how we can do this. So the first step would be that we need a chatbot where kids can kind of come in. What you are expecting as the end goal maybe is an application where people can come in and the parents can give access to their kids, and maybe kids on some interface, maybe on their phone or maybe on a system, can then actually take those quizzes, right? So an easy way for us to do that would be, yes, there are two ways of doing that. One is that we have something nowadays called a study mode within GPT, where essentially this is the idea behind the study mode. See it here. Yeah, I mean, I'm maybe on the web, I can access this. There is one thing which is the study mode, where GPT lets you directly describe, hey, I want you to help me learn this session, the topic. And it's a chat directly, so you can let your kid chat with it, and it will not go out of context. It will stay in that focus, and it will not even give answers. It will try to get the student to come to the answer. That's one simple way. Another way is that we can, of course, build something simple to use. For building something simple, we would need a sort of an app. We might have to get slightly more technical with it. I would not say that it's totally non-technical, but what we can do there is we can, if you remember from my earlier session, I was sharing about Streamlit, right? So we can actually use Streamlit here. We could build a chat interface on Streamlit, and we could let GPT write the logic behind building those assessments. What that might look like is that we could have an interface where the parent could type in, okay, these are the assessments I want. They hit enter. AI in the background generates those assessments, and then it will start quizzing the kid on those assessments and then show the results. So everything could be tracked within a simple application. Now, this is something that can be done directly by using GPT. Of course, when we talk about maybe hosting that, connecting that to a server, then we'll have to follow some steps. So that is where we'll have to sit down with GPT, brainstorm, and do that. But maybe if I want to show you a quick glimpse of how that could look like, let me try it out.
Sachini is also added one more point. A visual and a graphic representation of, the concepts will make more interactive, where kids can able to, focus
Yes,
more.
yes.
Yeah.
That's also a very good example. That is where we can, use even the image generation
Their
model.
favorite characters we can bring in,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. I actually have something fun to show there that I did as a fun exercise. I'll show that as well. But I'm just going to,
Sure,
I'm
please.
not going to go into the entire building. That will take, your idea is very good, but it will take some time.
That's fine if you give some high-level overview. So
Yeah,
we'll
I'll just
try
give you
from
a
our
high
side.
level
Yeah,
overview,
yeah,
and then you can take some time on yourself to
sure.
try it out. So, like I said, there are two components here. We need the interface for the kids to use the chatbot. We need a place where they can have a quiz. Right. So what we want to do is we will describe this here. I will use the thinking model. Quiz on general science, maths, social science topics, class up to 10th, up to, let's say 10th grade. Create stream interface.
Sir, your screen is not visible. It is shared.
Oh, sorry, I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so I'm just on ChatGPT and I'm trying to type a prompt. So we're just trying to describe what we want, right? We need a chatbot kind of assessment game for kids where they could be quizzed on the general science, maths, and social science topics. It would be controlled by parents, where parents would describe, would select which assessment they want to give kids, and kids will then take assessment, and the results would be tagged and shared. We can create a single app which has two access, one for students and one is can create app using Streamlit base or using HTML, CSS. For example, so I just write this kind of prompt and help me create the whole project folder that I can run directly. One thing that you might have to do here is that because we are using AI to be able to generate questions, to be able to visualize the answers, when we are doing this within ChatGPT, we are able to directly, run and do things because this is where it is handling. But now, since we are building an application which is essentially running outside ChatGPT, so how do we use ChatGPT, right? From within our own application. Now, this is where a concept called API comes in. I'm not sure if people are aware here, but like APIs are just a way of you interacting with different systems. So what we would have to essentially do here is, if you go on OpenAI website and you go for, let's say, developers here, you can actually log in on the API platform. So we already have an account because we develop constantly with OpenAI, right? So we already have an account. You can set up your own account. It's quite simple. What you essentially have to do is, because we will be using GPT as the core for AI, we would need an account here and we would need to use their API, right?
The API
So
we
this
need
is,
to pay for it, right?
we need to
Are
pay
there
for it.
free versions are available, especially?
There are some free versions available you can try for. Even with GPT, you can use it for free technically. Even if you create an account, it lets you an option of, let's say, because you will be using GPT just for question generation and for analysis. So even if you share that data for OpenAI to train on, that should not be a problem for you, unless that's okay. If you do that, then they offer you for free. Then you don't have to, even pay it. So for example, in my case, because we run it constantly, we have credits and we have API keys running. So you can see we have multiple API keys running. We can create a new key, we can use the key. But because it's an independent application, that's why I said, if you want to totally keep it running for free, you can use GPT only, and you can use the study mode or something within GPT. But if you want an independent application then we will have to use an API key. That is where API key comes in. The cost for API key is very minimal. It is like you pay some cents for, I don't know, almost million tokens. So for a lot of usage, you pay a very small figure. It is not a lot. Even then, like I said, if you allow GPT to train on your data, then it is even free up to a certain extent. And then there are some other options like Google, where you can get these keys for free for a certain limit. So there are also multiple options which you can use to do this. But I'm giving you an example. This is where you can create a key. You can use one of those keys, and you will have to pass the key to GPT to use that in the code, because that is how it will be able to run the application, right?
Could you please
So you
share
can
this prompt in the chat window if you don't mind?
Yes, I will
Thanks.
decide. I'm sharing my OpenAI key with you. Please use that in the code base.
But again, the API comes with the tokenization, right? Backend, right? So how much token we are passing towards the model, right? GPT model, right?
Yeah, exactly. So API will only be, you will only pay for the usage.
Hmm.
So if you're not using it, you won't pay for it.
Any free LLMs are available, you know, you could suggest something that would be great.
Gemini offers the LLM for free. The
LLM is free, but if I wanted to connect via API, that
yeah, by
again we have to
API,
pay for it,
it
right?
is free. By API, it is free. Yes,
Okay.
it is free. Their not their pro model, but their like Flash model is free.
Okay.
So a lot of times educators, they build using the Flash model, and even as an educator, you can register on OpenAI as an educator, and there also they give you some grants.
Oh,
Use it for free. Yes.
oh, thanks.
So that would also be a good way to check it out. So yeah, I somehow it relates. I'm sharing. You could say like whatever OpenAI key or Gemini key, that's up to you. Key, whatever, let's say the key, please include that in the code so I can directly run this. This could be done. There are also other easier ways nowadays. Like if you go to Gemini, actually Gemini has a very interesting interface to even build applications inside just by dragging dropping. Then you don't even have to think about how you can directly visualize. You can actually build the application there. It's very easy to use. And you know, with the Gemini, you can use some of your own application keys also, and you can just write the prompt to describe the similar way that I'm describing it there, and it will set up the application for you. So that's also one way of doing this there. I'm showing you within ChatGPT, but that's totally entirely up to you, right? How you would want to do this. So I'll just share this prompt in the
So
chat.
we have more ideas in the chat box. So we can
Yes,
see
I'll
that.
take them now. Yes. Just a second. Let me. Yeah. Okay, then we had from Sachin visual and graphic presentation creating movies of theory. Yeah, this is one actually a fun one to do. We can go to Gemini. You can see I generated a headshot Maya from Gemini itself just now. So Sachin, we could actually use the new Gemini. Gemini is very good in creating fun stuff. So I have some tools available here, right? So I can create videos as well as I can create some images, right? I can also create some guided learning. So Sachin, can you unmute and maybe share a concept that we want to maybe take up?
Yeah, hi, Saksham. So
Hi.
recently we have seen that, like for example, there are the historical concepts and a theory, for example, ancient civilization and all those things. So we prominently seeing these days, they have a video, they are sharing the, like, if there is some battle through visual and the video graphic presentation, they are describing that particular event. So similarly, what we can do is we can even apply to not only to history or events, but we can also apply it to the mathematicals and or in the science concept. From my personal experience during my school time, I was so bad and duffer in my mathematics and science just because of the boring concepts and the too much of factual things. So in the AI world, we can create some games related to the same, so at least this generation enjoy those subjects and they can take it as fun, right? So yeah.
So, can you give me one concept that you find difficult that would have helped focus your
I
mind?
mean, I don't remember because I studied these subject last
No,
in
no,
10th
just anything that
standard.
you're doing now, any concept. Just say anything. That's totally fine.
Okay,
Any
so
concept.
maybe something geometrical, we can take it from the mathematics, how we can create game related to the same,
So
like, you know.
we'll try two things, right? That's actually a
Yeah.
fun one as well. Let's try both. Okay. Let's create a game to help students learn geometry.
And also, Saksham, I just want to ask, like, whatever the video we see these days, like, which has been created about the, like, for example, which I was talking about the history and things, right? So,
Mhm.
are they, I mean, these videos been created by these, what you are talking about, the Gemini and all, or is there a other AI tools where they create all these things?
Uh, Depends, right? Like you can use multiple tools, I would say. Gemini has been good for the recent times in the past month or 2 months. Gemini models
Okay,
are doing quite well. It's a race. AI has been constantly evolving. I would say all players are doing well. So it doesn't
okay.
have to be Gemini. You can use OpenAI. You can use Gemini. OpenAI has
Mm,
Sora. Gemini has something else. Every one of these players have some of their own image or video models that you can use.
okay.
So totally up
So
to
if
you.
you're aware about Gemini,
Yeah.
apart from Gemini, if you're aware about other tools which are free to access, so you can share those things as well over here.
Sure. I think apart from Gemini is free to use, OpenAI is to certain extent free to use. Not a
Okay,
lot. The usage is capped. Then Perplexity by the time by meanwhile is also free to use. For India, for all Airtel users, Perplexity Pro is free. So maybe you could try using that. Apart from that, think then there are some other like video generation models available, but they again have some video generation. There is a cap usually, so it will give you
mm-hmm.
like Runway is available, but it will give you some cap. Like you can generate maybe 1 minute or 5 minutes for free, and then you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, that limit is there because of course they have to, they are running a lot of servers for us to be able
Yeah,
to generate those kind of videos. So that's why I feel like OpenAI and Gemini, they have these education programs as well. So as a student, it's easy for you to register and they give you more free access. So I would suggest try them out first. They are
okay,
actually the best out there and also easier to learn and use.
all right,
So,
okay.
so I will show you both quickly. So we will do the game there, focusing on trigonometry. I think Nidhi suggested that. So we can take that into account and maybe do you have any idea what that game could look like if or do you wanted to think about it? Um, Anyone has a suggestion of what that game could look
Maybe
like?
we can simplify the formulas.
Simplify the formulas.
Yeah.
Like there are the different concept, and to solve those concept, there are different formulas, right? So we can puzzle up everything, and we have to try to solve the puzzle. Which concept will go with the which formula? It is jumbled up, and then we have to match those things, something like that, you know.
Okay,
And
that's
yeah.
okay. In the meantime, let's use something similar but with a different style here. Trig Match Arena. It has thought of a game here. Let's see. You can see it's writing the code. It will take some time to plan out the whole game. And usually these things, so you can see it thought for some time, and that's when it came to the. So it is asking us some question, is the right angle triangle? So that's the basic. You need to find the missing side, you need to find the missing angle. So let's say we want to find the missing, the first scenario. So this one is like the guided learning. What I was saying to Abhinav, this is not actually for designing it, but it is trying to help me learn this through a guided learning process. So I am trying to learn trigonometry. This is what now these models have also come out with guided learning. In ChatGPT, there is something called study mode. So if you find a concept which is very difficult for you to understand, you can describe it to it, and it will help you guide you to actually learn the process step by step. Right. So this is what it's trying to do, right? It picked up, okay, this scenario it will try to help me how to come up, how if this is a problem, how do I come up with that solution? And what it will not directly give me the answer, but it will try to guide me to the answer. So that way it becomes much more useful. So I will also go back just a second and get you the maybe the concept here. Just a second. Let's see where we are here. It's still writing the code. In the meantime, let me see what else we have. Creating programming games. Reena, I think you shared this. Can you maybe give some idea what you were looking at?
Hello, sir. Reena this side.
Yeah, hi Reena. Yes.
Actually, whenever I teach programming, sir,
Hmm.
a student will face the thing they can imagine. They cannot imagine
Hmm.
what is going to be there after I change something.
Hmm.
So there should be some pictorial or something animated kind of thing
Hmm.
which can be elaborate. Okay, if I change this variable, it will look like this, and the answer would be like this.
Hmm.
Kind of that.
That's a fun one. So actually, yeah, I think again this one you can use like we are doing this one. Let's see. Let's try to play this. I will want to open this completely. Just a second. It has come up with 3 problems, but yeah, what I would suggest, Renat, for you as well, just try this one out. Try to describe that, hey, I want to create a fun visual game where I want to, make it such that my students can visualize, simple concepts. So you don't have to go too much. You can start by simple concepts first. So maybe going to a concept where you want to explain to them the logics, or the simple loops or things like that. So you can make a game around that where, let's say there are some interaction that they choose a loop or they choose an if or for loop, some command,
Yeah.
what that changes, right? What that if you move from one, so it
If
could
we
be
are
one
if
problem,
we
there
are
could be
taking
multiple.
4 or 5 variables in for loop, they jumbled up with all the variables. What
Yes.
one variable is going to do. So if there is a something is going to give them graphical interface type of thing, so they will easily understand.
Yes. So you can just try, doing something like this here.
Yeah.
and that might be easier for them to understand. So it has created the game now, like you can see what you need to. Let me close this tab. So it's right here. We have the. This is a JavaScript game. Might not be able to directly run it. Let me see. Yeah, no. So we'll have to run it. It also lets us run the code directly. You can ask it that, hey, help me run this game on my Mac, for example, or on your Windows or whatever. I have now the file. Because it's not an HTML game, it is a JavaScript game, so I can't directly run it on my browser, but I can run it here and I can play with it here, for example. So that works. Now, how does it want us to play the game? Angle theta is 37, opposite adjacent. So what would be the drop sine theta formula here? Y sine, the ratio comes from comparing highlighted sides. So it's trying to basically talk to us about the three formulas here that are applied. And you can see it made a fun visualization after that. So I have a score now. And now I have the unit circle match. What is the theta? So what could be the value for sine theta here? Or what would be the value of cos theta here? So I can just think about the value plotted there. I can drop it. So it created a fun, simple game. Again, depends on how you want to. So it gave a hint also that this is how I see my side. And based on that, I can take the assumption. So you can, you can try making those fun games. And this is the first iteration. So sometimes it, like, for example, it got stuck here. Could I, I want to change something. Maybe I can go back to it, write a prompt. I didn't like this. Can you change something there? So this is the very early stage, but it is still way more helpful than what, something 5 years ago, this I could never imagine that I could create a game myself, right? So game development is very, very difficult. It involves a lot of coding, it involves a lot of studying. So to be able to do this even to a certain extent is, I think, great, and it is only getting better, is what I want to say, that these things are improving at a very, very fast rate. So what we are seeing today, maybe 1 month later, this will already be much better already. Right. So just experiment. I am just trying to show you how you can experiment. Don't feel afraid. Let it experiment, let it run, and then you can just play it here, like I said. Or you can ask it, can you help me to run this game? So if it helps you, then you can, just share the game. Rina, in your case, if you are able to create a game here, then you can just share the game with your coders. In that case, it might be fun for them to even learn how to run the game themselves and then play the game themselves. And you could give them, like, this is the game, these are the instructions, just follow them, run it yourself, and then play the game. That will make it a much more, interesting experience to actually learn how to run that code and also play the game directly, right? So there are multiple ways you can go around it. In your case, if you create a game and you want to still see um, um, how can I host it, then you can ask it some simple question that, can you also help me, like, run this somewhere, for example. I don't know what it
And
did.
that is how you use SOHCAHTOA to remember the formulas for sine, cosine, and tangent. And that is how you use.
I think this is done a fun one, but I would say in this case, you'll have to work slightly harder. You can work on creating some fun images to create, to visualize by using some fun characters. You'll have to sit on prompting a little bit, because see, at the end of the day, we can't also try to skip the whole process. In this case, I was just being lazy. But in my honesty, I would have done would be, I would have wrote a simple prompt, gave it that screen by screen, let's design some images so that I can share and make this a visually learning journey to help with. Let me go back to the chat again. I think there were some more prompts coming in. Naz, you had said we can create a game that makes our PhD journey interesting. Preparing a research proposal, ending with PhD defense. Each step, right step will take you a step further, and each wrong step will take you a step back. We'll keep unlocking a level to move ahead. That's a very fun one. Yes, I think you could try. I would suggest you still have to visualize a little bit in terms of what how that game would look like. Because if we leave all the thinking to GPT, sometimes it might not be visually appealing to us what comes out of it. In this case, we did not give it much sense. In the football game, like when I described, I really want to play football. There will be 3 nets. I'll be kicking the football in. So I was very clear on what I was looking for in the game. You can see the result was much better. So similarly, if you have such a game in mind, how would you visualize that game? How would you visualize that journey? Please try to visualize that and then share the prompt there. So you can, it can create something which truly is fun to play around. And you can even say that, I mean, make it an HTML game. So you can just upload that as a website later and you can share it with your peers so everyone can play that, right?
Okay, so basically I need to be more specific about my prompts.
Yes, yes. Like you can take some inspiration. Like Nidhi said, we like to play Fruit Ninja. So maybe there are like, I don't know, watermelons dropping. Each one has some relevant answer. We slash the right one. That's an example. But in this case, since it's a journey,
Yes.
how do you describe that, right?
Right.
So, like I said, the first thing that I said in today's call was it's a democratizing journey, right?
True.
So what AI has done is that it's put us all on the same level. Now, you, me, anyone else, there is no if I don't know how to code or how to do code create games, it's okay.
Right.
But if I have the vision to think that
Yes,
that
sir.
is how my game would look like,
Right.
then that is what I'm looking for, right?
True.
Not
Yes, sir.
how to create the game. So that is where we use AI. AI create the game for me, but I'll tell you what I want, and then it will be much better.
Right, sir.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
focus on that because that might be that is where you can and you can just try it out, like just try it out with trial and error. I have spent way too many hours on ChatGPT. Is where I know how to prompt it well. There is no like learning comes from trying it out, right? So just keep doing that. You'll see just yesterday when I was creating that other game, this is how it created that game. See, I gave it a prompt. I was very specific about my prompt. Let me about it. No, this is not the one. Sorry. I think it must be there in my personal, maybe. Yeah, there you go. So you can see, let's create an interactive game to educate students. The idea of the game is to build a quiz on statistical methods. But here for giving the answer, the student has to kick the ball in the goal post. There will be 3 goal posts containing 3 different answers. Student has to hit the ball in the right goal post. This will be a fun game and also education in nature. So I was very clear on what I was asking, right? And then it could understand that and it could create the game. And it also helps me. Like, for example, it suggested me, do I want to add sounds? Do I want to add a timer? Do I want to add modes? Right? Do I want something more? So it will automatically also give you suggestions, say how can you even enhance it further. But then I found that the ball was not jumping properly, for example, or the ball was moving in the reverse direction because the logic was different.
Yes, yes.
So I saw the game, I used it, I wrote it back, it fixed the code. And now we have a working game, right? Now it is working perfectly fine. The ball is bouncing the way we want and everything is working fine. So just try out, be more specific. I think then you will have a fun thing to do.
Yeah, sure,
And
sir.
yeah, and then how this came, the game thing around when OpenAI launched GPT-5, it called in 20 people who are all AI experts or people in the AI domain, and they just gave them very simple thing, create a fun game. And that is how they launched GPT-5. That is why I suggest that's how even I knew about that we could create games from GPT-5. And all of them, they ended up creating fun games. The first game I created was pinball. I created a game of pinball, again with GPT-5. So that got me thinking, why not create educational games? So try it out. I would be happy to see if you guys reach out to me with what fun game you have actually created. Would be a lot of fun to see what you're able to. We have a lot of capacity here. Even I don't know the potential GPT has. It's limitless potential. So let's bring it out, in our use case. That's what we can all do. Any other question you have for me, or anything that you would want to ask me? I'd be very happy to answer. I think I've covered all the game suggestions. Yes. Yeah. Anyone has any questions on any other thing they have tried to do with GPT or Gemini or an AI, and they got stuck, or they maybe need help? Didn't know in that situation how to get out of it or how to solve it.
Any other idea anyone wants to share, please?
Yeah, or that any other fun game idea that you want to brainstorm with me?
Or maybe any question regarding whole session? Please ask.
I'll anyways also share my email ID and my LinkedIn in case anyone wants to reach out to me. Please feel free to do that. Yeah, so maybe if no one has summarizing in detail, that's what the topic of our session was, and I hope you all enjoyed it today.
Yes. A lot.
Yeah, sorry, Shweta, please.
We have learned a lot actually. It was very insightful. And sir, can we take one group photograph with all the participants?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Participants, please turn on your cameras. Yeah. Reena, Naz, Dr. Suresh. Nakul, Parvati, Sachin. Yes, thank you, sir. It
All
was
right.
very insightful. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us. It's been 3 hours now.
Yes, it's been a long time. Sorry for taking
Yeah.
all of your time, but I hope I made it worth it on Sunday morning. So
I think the comment box is also full of comments like they are saying informative, interesting, very
Yes.
interesting.
Yes,
So
thank you. Thank you for that. Really helpful. Yes. All right. Let's be in touch. If anyone wants you to reach out to me, please do that. Feel free. And I would like to see what you guys come up with, any fun games that you publish in the future. I'll be very happy that happens. Yes, looking forward. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Anju ma'am. Thanks the organizers and everyone for having me here. Yeah.
thank you, sir, for
Thank you.
joining us today.
Yes. Bye.
Participants, please join us again at 1:30. We are taking lunch break. No, Sachin, don't leave. We are taking break. We have one more session at 1:30. So please join us again.
देखा था